Go. It's go time. Hello, hello. Is anybody out there? Oops. That's not the one I want. I need to come over here. And I need to pop out that chat. Hello, Marianne. I don't know if anybody's going to be up tonight, but we shall see. Me. Yeah, you go over there. Oh, dang. I got to do this first. And I got to copy that. Then I got to go back over here. Where is it? There you are. And I got to go here. What? Stop that. Paste. Post. Pin. Okay. I want to check something while I am what am I doing? Oh yeah, up here. Check that. Yeah, there's nothing there. That's fine. Now I gotta bring back my chat. How you doing? Man. It says there's 6 people out there. Hello, 6 people out there. We have 5 lurkers and 1 Marianne. Let me guess. One of them might be Wanda. Another one might be Ace. I have no idea who the rest of them would be. No clue. I don't know. Could have been anybody. Oh, what I want to do is maybe do that and that. And oh, stop that, you stupid thing. That's why I don't like YouTube sliders. Sliders never work right. I knew one of them had to be Wanda. You're heading to bed. I am glad you're heading to bed. Thank you so much. Love you, girl. Thank you. You take care. And yeah, thank you, Wanda. I appreciate it. Let's see. Live chat. Live chat is good. Laurie's Prepping for Heaven has turned on subscriber only mode. You sleep tight, little girl. You get some good rest. You need it. You really, really need it. You really need to take care of yourself. Because what's going to happen if something happens to you? Then what's your hubby gonna do? You know I love you. You take care. Now there's 9 people watching, and nobody's fessing up. See, I knew one of them had to be Ace. Luis, how are you, my friend? I'm gonna move that over. Oh, why have I got a chill? It ain't cold out, that's for sure. Although the past few days it's been chilly. But the air conditioner is on and it's blowing a cold breeze over this way across the ceiling because it's pointing up at the ceiling and it's blowing this way. So, yeah, I be getting it over here. And I'm drinking cold water, so that'll do it too. But I didn't put any ice in it this time because I didn't want it too cold. Uh, okay. I'm telling my head's gonna start again. Hello? He comes and he goes. Why is my ear bugging me? My ear's bugging me. I don't know. Maybe I slept on it wrong. And no, I don't wear my hat to bed. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I do keep it braided though, because then I braid it again in the morning. Hello, Teresa. Lurkers. Okay, I gotta see what. Oh no. Ace, I love you. I have no idea what he's doing. He's moving stuff around here, there, and everywhere. I don't know. I love all my friends. Now there's only 4 people watching. I scared them all off. He's doing something. I don't know what the heck he's doing. He's moving stuff around over there. I don't know. um, Too bad. So sad. Okay, why does that thing sometimes work and sometimes not? I hate that when you try to resize a window and it's on top of your regular window and you go to grab the edge of it and you think you got it, but it don't want to slide. It's like, why aren't you sliding? You're supposed to be going smaller. Hello, Chris. You missed the last of Wanda's love. What? I'm guessing you meant live. Yeah, that could be too. You're right. They went scuttling off to watch your little video. Yeah, I kind of figured that. And Ace is Johnny on the spot. She's posting everybody's channels because, yeah, don't you love autocorrect? Well, why the heck would they do that? Seriously. Hello, Tony. Hello, Angie. Angie. Angie's already in bed, and I'm heading there now. Oh, good night. You take care of yourself, and you take care of that little Angie for me too. Hugs to both of you. Love you both. How you doing, Amy? Amy, what you wanna do? You know, I almost sang that whole thing last night. Well, I did sing that whole thing, but I probably messed it up here and there, but I really need to start watching it a few times so I can actually remember how it goes completely. It sort of came back to me last night. I don't know. I started singing it, and then all of a sudden, it was like it kept clicking. Yeah, yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, that's how it goes. And then every now and then, I'd get a little hiccup. It wasn't quite right. Chris is probably sleeping by now, right? Uh, okay, I'm gonna open it up. Now there goes that stupid thing again. It doesn't want to go when I tell it to go. Not you, the other Chris. I mean, Amy's Chris. Chris Leonard. He's probably sleeping because he's got to go to work in the morning. No, Chris is probably sleeping. Chris, Texas Raider, he's probably snoring somewhere. Probably on his recliner with uh, Faith laying at his feet. uh, okay, am I going to try this? There's three Chris's. There's Chris Texas Raider. There's Chris the silent Chris, and then there's Chris Leonard of Leonard Mountain Homestead. I always get people's channel names screwed up. Yes. Absolutely. We have three Chris's. And if you count my son, it's four. And if you count their son, it's five. So, yeah. Christopher. So we have two Christophers. One Chris with an H. One Chris with a C. No H. And one Chris with a K. That's right. So there's five altogether. There's a lot of Chris's. My youngest is Christopher. Then I have a Paul and a Mark. Okie dokie, Teresa. Thanks for the warning. Hello, Mr. Mudd. How are you? And Chris Kringle. How are you doing, Mr. Mudd? They're always beating me. TJ and Mr. Mudd are awesome at Kahoot It. So whenever we play Kahoot on Dale and Lisa's Live, they're always beating the snot out of me. Hello, Bonnie. How are you? Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sing it. I'm going to try. We'll see how bad it goes. If it starts to go downhill in a hurry, I might just stop. I can see why you think you belong to me. I never tried to make you think or let you see one thing for yourself. But now you're off with someone else and I'm alone. You see, I thought that I might keep you for my own. And that's way too high. Amy, what you want to do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Don't you think it's time right for us to find all the things we thought weren't proper could be right in time? Can't you see which way we should turn together or alone? I can see what's right or what is wrong. Will it take too long to see, Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Ooh. Well, now, Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Now it's come to what you want, you've had your way. And all the things you thought before just faded into gray. And can you see that I don't know if it's you or if it's me? If it's one of us, I'm sure we'll both see. Won't you look at me and tell me, Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. 'Cause I keep falling in and out of love with you. Falling in and out of love with you. I don't know what I'm gonna do. 'Cause I'm falling in and out of love with you. Hello, Shadow. I'm sorry. I know I messed it up here and there, but it's close. I just gotta listen to it a few more times to remember how it's supposed to go. Because I know there's a few little twists and turns that it takes, and I keep forgetting what they are and where they are. So I'm gonna have to hear it a few times by Pure Prairie League because they're the ones that sing it the best. I hope you liked it, Amy. I love that song. I really do. Okay, everybody's saying hi to Shadow. Hello, hello, Shadow. Good to see you. I'm sure Chris is probably not going to be around tonight because I came up way too late for him to be, because he's been trying to go to bed at 11 o'clock my time. So he's probably not going to be here. Hello.
Hey, Lori, good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Thank you for coming up.
Yeah, you looked so alone up there by yourself, so I need to keep you company for a while.
Ah, thank you. I appreciate it. Everybody's saying hello to each other.
Oh, I forgot. Hey,
Everybody's saying
Chris with a
hello.
K, good to see you. Chris with a K.
Chris with a K.
Yeah.
Um, Tired and exhausted. Well, that's not good.
Well, if you had 10 days of stress and things like that,
Yeah, I know. Well, thank God you only have this week to go, and then you get to have a whole month vacation.
yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
one thing that's very rare here in the States. I know
Well,
all
you only
over
have two
Europe, it's
weeks.
not that unusual.
You only have 2 weeks of vacation in US, as far as I know.
Yeah, pretty much two weeks out of the whole year. And in Europe, they have a month vacation like every 6 months or every 3 months or something. In some places, they have at least a couple of weeks off. Yeah, that's pretty good.
In Japan, they have only 1 week vacation.
I know.
That is not good.
And I don't think the kids ever get out of school. I think they're in school year round.
Pretty
That's
much.
terrible. That's stressful.
That's why most of the Japanese are burned out, basically.
Yeah,
And
and I'm not even going to
many
bring up
Japanese,
the other side effect of that much stress because it's a fact of life that it happens over there a lot.
yeah, and those who are Japanese who are burned out, they work and anyway. In you know what? They have went to their office, sat down behind their desk, and they died at work.
Yeah, yeah, that too. Yeah, it's not good. Not good because
No,
it's all about pride. It's all about saving face, and you don't want to embarrass your family.
yeah.
It's like, no,
Hey,
you got to
Marianne,
take care
good
of
to
your
see you.
health. You know, killing yourself to work is not.
It, it is not worth it.
No, it's not. I mean, that's why God gave us 7 days in a week. 6 of them we can work, and the seventh is like a mini vacation every week.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. Did somebody else show up? No.
Bonnie says, Lori, can you pray for me? I have to go to the emergency in the morning. Things are not going good.
Oh no. because you're still having problems with your throat. Well, maybe now that they'll, if you go to the emergency room, maybe they'll have to take you and have a specialist look at you and move things along a little quicker.
Yeah, they have to do that.
Okay, I'm gonna let me shut that one down and I'm gonna go where is Bonnie? I know Bonnie's on the list.
Yeah,
Yeah, more prayers. Yeah, they need to do something a little quicker, I think.
yeah. If you have to go to the ER, yeah, they have to do something
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah. I'm hoping they'll
They
move
might
things along.
reconsider to do something about it.
Yeah. I put you up at the top of the list, Bonnie.
Keep us updated, Bonnie, on how it's going.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know. Ow. What the heck? Stop that ankle. My ankle is screaming at me. Why? Don't do that. Out of the blue, ankle decided, I think I'm just going to give a little jab.
Yeah,
Thanks. It's like, okay. Old bones, you never know when they're going to decide to give you a little zinger.
Bonnie says my face is swelling and breaking out in some kind of weird breakout that is weeping and sick to my stomach.
Oh,
Okay,
what the heck? Did they put you
that
on some kind of medicine for that? Or and
well, that sounds not good to me.
why are you waiting for the morning to go? You should be going tonight. I wouldn't wait till the morning. I know it's Sunday, but I don't know any hospital that has an ER that doesn't take patients on Sunday nights or any other night. I don't know how it is in Canada, but down here, they're 24/7, 7 days a week.
Amy are going to bed.
Good night, Amy. You take care of yourself. Big hugs. And, you know, anytime, anytime you can give me a call or send me an email or whatever. If you need anything, you let me know. It was so hot here today. I was cutting the grass and had to quit because I thought I was going to faint. Oh, that's never a good thing.
No,
That is definitely not a good thing.
that's a bad thing, really. It's not good if you're cutting your grass and you faint. That is not a good thing.
No, no, you don't
So
want a
it was
lawnmower
good
to run your
that Chris stopped cutting the grass and got inside. I
Yeah,
hope you drink enough water, Chris, or otherwise you will have
absolutely.
serious problems. And make sure you get the electrolytes back into your body too.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a reminder.
Drink a little Gatorade or
Yeah, because if you don't,
some kind of
it's
juice or
it's
something.
so hard as he describes, he need to replace the electrolytes
Yeah,
eh, because he
absolutely.
would probably sweating like the Niagara
It's
Falls anyway.
sweats.
So
Yeah, exactly. Hello, Mickey.
is that Crater Creek
Have you
who's
had to
speaking?
start trying to keep them ornery ones out? I just had a little incident the other night where somebody got a little mouthy and decided to get vulgar, and I ended up having to take the live down because I didn't want anybody else to watch it during the daytime when little ones might be in earshot, because I didn't want little ones to have to hear that kind of stuff, because it was f bomb this and f bomb that, and I probably should have taken action as soon as she said it the first time, but apparently she was having a bit of a meltdown, or that's what she said in the she apologized and said she was having a hard time because a family member had committed suicide a couple of days before. And she was having a hard time dealing with it. She was angry at herself, and she just started lashing out. She was drinking. She started lashing out and got a little carried away.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping it doesn't happen again, because if it does, I'm just next time I will not hesitate to just cut her off, because or anybody else. I mean, anybody that comes in and starts throwing around the f bombs every other word. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want that on my channel. That I
mm,
don't want blasphemies on my channel. I don't don't use God as a an expletive.
I agree.
Jesus is not your personal swear word, and I don't want to allow that
No,
on my channel either. Uh, so how are you, Mickey? We love you. We haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you here.
yeah,
It's
it
always,
was a
always
long
good.
time ago I saw him.
It's always good to see you, Mickey.
It is.
But don't you start coming up here and using the F bomb either. I don't care who it is. Please, please, please don't do that. Don't make me have to turn you off.
I try,
Uh,
even on my own channel, I try to avoid it
yeah, yeah,
as much as possible.
yeah, I don't like that kind of.
I try to keep it as clean as possible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know every once in a while somebody might slip and use an off color word,
Yeah,
but that one is just that one and a few others. There's a few other words that I would definitely do the same thing. I would shut them down immediately, because I don't want anyone doing
hey
that. Now, what
Mauricio,
the
good to
heck?
see you.
Oh, you know what? That's the one I want to have running on my. I forgot that I had. I have a template for um, every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Sunday, and I have to change. I have to remember to change the banner if I use it, because and I really want to keep this up at least for a while because I want people to know. Fair warning, if you're going to come on my channel, definitely setting some um, standards that I really don't want anybody using that kind of language. Yep, anybody that wants to pop up, there is a link. So you're definitely welcome to come up if you like, Mickey. Hello, Marishu. The only bad word allowed in Laurie's chat is the one that's on Shadow's awesome coffee mug. Yes.
Here we go again.
It's because it's Swedish. Oh, I'm
No
sorry.
offense, okay?
And it doesn't mean what you think it means. That
No.
reminds me of a stupid line from, if anybody's ever seen The Princess Bride. My name is, I can't think of it, Montoya. Something Montoya. You killed my father. Now prepare to die. And then later on in the movie, he says, that word, you keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing with different languages.
Oh, yeah.
When you think it means something in your language, it doesn't mean the same thing in the other language.
Right,
So,
right. Teresa, I could say I'm here for anybody one on one that would be fine, but to put that on someone's channel is not right. We can still be here for someone, but you don't have to, yeah, you do have to watch your mouth. Absolutely. I mean, I can understand somebody being frustrated, but don't come here to vent. I don't want to talk politics. I don't want to talk about um, class versus class. I don't want to talk about rich people like they don't deserve to have their money. If they earned it, leave them alone. Don't be jealous. If you're poor, don't complain about it. Find some other way to make money legally.
exactly.
Yeah, but don't come here expecting this to be your platform to vent because I don't want to be a venting channel. We're here to have fun. We're
I
here to
agree.
support each other and to enjoy each other's company, to sit and chat and just have a good time, tell jokes. I'm not here we're not here to judge anyone or to talk about. I don't want gossiping about anybody else. I just that stuff
Uh,
just makes me crazy.
uh, Gossiping. Oh, I don't
Yeah,
like it.
I've never liked gossiping.
I never
I
liked it
remember
either.
hearing people gossiping. People, there have always been. Women are the worst gossipers in the world. They do it all the time. It's backbiting. It's like, and they still do it. It's
Yeah,
like, why do you do that? Why can't you just get along and
yeah.
just
And it's a
so you
lot of
don't let?
backstabbing too.
I don't like that at all.
No,
I don't like people talking about people behind their backs and
I don't like it either.
making up stories about them
I
and
don't like it either,
making people
Lori.
feel bad because oh you're friends with that person, oh how dare you. It's like
Uh,
excuse me,
oh,
I
yeah,
didn't know I had any kind of restrictions on who I could be friends with. No, I love everybody. I am a smush and I truly truly love everybody. I love my friends, I love my family. Even if they tick me off, I still love them.
yeah. You are that kind of person, Lori.
Yeah, I that's just the way I was brought up,
Of course.
you know? Here I go venting. I'm sorry.
No worries, Miss Lori. Even you need to vent sometimes, okay?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's
Or otherwise, if you don't, you will turn crazy, okay?
yeah,
And we
yeah,
want to keep you in a good mental health shape, healthy shape.
yeah. I I just can't stand people that are always bickering with each other. I Troy Sutton, how dare you show up in my chat? Get your buns up here on the panel. Whoop, whoop.
Hey, Troy.
I am, I
Good to
love
see you
family.
again.
We love you, Troy.
Yeah, you're
Um,
awesome, Troy. You know that. And
how
you're a
are you
funny guy.
doing down there in the rain? Did the rain stop? Did the water go away?
Yeah, I was
How you
thinking the same
driving?
thing.
I've been worried about you.
Yeah, I was thinking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it didn't turn out to be worse. I hope
Okay, come on up, Troy. Get yourself up here.
you know the drill, Troy. Click the link, follow the instructions, and then you're up.
Set it all up and come and join the silliness because we want
Yeah.
to be silly. We don't want to be arguing or
No,
complaining about this one or that one or the other one. I can't stand that.
I totally agree with you, Lori.
Oh, Teresa, you get some sleep. You take care of yourself.
You take care, Teresa. Get your beauty sleep. If you are
Yeah,
going up at 6 a.m. in the morning, you need your sleep.
yeah. Especially since it's 12:30, almost 12:40 here now.
Oh Lord, that will not be that many hours she will get in sleep. So
That's That's not good.
Uh, for an adult, it's required minimum hours of sleep is 6 hours minimum.
Oh yeah, that's absolute minimum.
Yeah,
It's better 7, and the best is 8 or more, between 8 and 9.
yeah,
Usually I run anywhere between 7 and 8. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, I might get 9 or even 10 sometimes if I wake up a couple of times and run to the bathroom and run back to bed and actually fall right back to sleep again.
give me a bit. I've been wore out for 3 days, but I'll be there in a minute.
Ah, Mickey. Amy, what you gonna do? My rabbit's really needing you. Face turquoise music note. Amy, so in love with you. Amy, rescue me. Oh, I love you, Mickey. You're too silly. I love silly. My dad was silly. He taught me to be silly. He did a good job at it too. Yep. I love my friends. I really do.
Yeah, you have a really nice community here, Miss Laurie.
I do. I do. My
We're
friends are
good people.
encore Critter Creek. Encore, encore.
Yeah, Ace laughing her butt off.
Yep, she is. Hmm. I bet you never thought that I'd sing that.
Now that came as a surprise. So, how has your day been, Miss Laurie? I hope you had a great day.
It wasn't horrible. I started out with a really nasty headache though, and it took
Oh,
a while. I I took some aspirin and that helped a bit. Um, but I'm I'm still I'm still kind of reeling from the other night,
yeah.
which that really, really broke my heart. That was. Anyway, it's time to get over it.
I think so too.
And I,
That's behind us now.
yeah, but
But I know it's easy to think about it.
I had so many people say so many nice things on my post after I took down the live,
Yeah.
and it, it really made me feel better about it. And I really need to find somebody that I can learn how to edit things out of my not out of my lives, because I'd like to be able to clip out, like maybe clip out a little section
Yeah.
that's funny, or something, like maybe one of the songs I sing or something that I
Yeah.
can make into a short video.
Yeah. I have seen there is a lot of people who make highlights from their live streams. They cut a section, choose a section of the live stream, and cut that out and make a video of it.
And make, yeah, yeah.
I never done it, but that's
I would like, because there are
interesting idea.
sometimes when we get into a certain discussion or something, and we have a really good discussion going, and it I know that it really is good,
Yeah.
and I'd like to be able to just clip that little bit out and make it into a small video
Yeah.
to post it at, because not everybody's going to sit here for 4 hours or 5 hours to
Uh,
watch me in a live.
no,
So if I could clip out little bits of it here and there,
the
so
good parts from it. Yeah.
they can get an idea of, what the heck goes on during my lives,
Yeah.
they might be more inclined to maybe drop in once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this? I went down to the Gruber County auction where I saw two rabbits I just had to have. My mind told me to proceed with caution. Amy Leonard said I'd make a bid on that. Just messing with Chris and Amy. On YouTube side, you can highlight a section. I know they show that you can do that, but I tried to do it, and it's so tiny that I can't even tell what the heck is in the pictures. It's just all I see is a picture of me, and then it's like a long streak of the same picture. It's like,
Yeah.
what the heck? I don't even know where the heck it is in that video, or how to even figure out how to find the section that I want to cut. Yeah, it doesn't. No, it's on the YouTube side that I'd have to do it, but I can't figure out how to do it.
I never done it, so I can't tell
I
you either.
I watched a video on YouTube that supposedly is to help you learn how to edit your, or to clip things out of your longer video to shorten it down and post it as a different video. It made no sense to me. And what they showed you was not helpful. Yeah, it's not as easy as they make it out to be. They say, oh, you
No.
just do this and this and this and this, and that's it. You're done. Oh, and if you want to change it, all you can do is just redo it. and send it back to the original, and you're all set.
Yeah,
Well,
I will
I
check
could spend
those.
days trying to figure out how to do it
Yeah,
and still not end up with anything that I could post.
I have checked those so-called instructional videos on YouTube on how to do certain things on YouTube. They are a total mess. Yeah,
Yeah.
even I don't understand a zip what how
Nope.
they do things. They
Me
explain it
neither.
so. Oh man,
They explain it like you're supposed to know all of the terminology and all of how to do certain things.
yeah, they explain
Oh,
things like
I
if
would
you were a
love
professional.
I would love to contact you. I will yeah, absolutely. I would do that, Mickey. I would appreciate that immensely because I cannot figure it out. I was thinking about asking Johnny if he could help me or if he knows how to do it through the YouTube side because I know he tends to use iMovie and that's an Apple thing. And I have a Windows PC uh, laptop.
Yeah, and Chris says those
And
tutorial videos are awful. I
oh, they are.
agree.
They're,
I
they're,
agree.
they're really awful. Yeah. Well, that's just it. I have no idea, Bonnie. I am totally lost. The only other person that I can think of that might know how to do it through YouTube is Dale from 9 Acre Family Farms because he, I think he started out doing all of his trim work and stuff like that, all of his editing and stuff through, I think he did it through YouTube, through the channel. I don't know. I'm going to have to contact him and see if I can figure out how to do that.
Yeah, he might be a good help. He's a brilliant guy.
He is. He is. He knows his stuff. He knows his way around YouTube too.
Uh,
I don't
Obviously.
understand half of the stuff. He had a session where he was explaining how to do certain things, and it did help me because it was better than the stupid YouTube videos that were supposed to help to teach you how to do the same things. And all I had to do was listen to him for a little while and ask him questions and stuff because he did a whole live to explain some of the stuff on YouTube. And when he showed us how to do it, it was like, yeah, that makes sense. Now I understand what that means.
Yeah.
But YouTube to explain it
Uh,
doesn't mean diddly squat to me.
no, you get even more questions than you had before.
That's true. Critter Creek is an editing master. That's what he does for a living. I mean, he does cartoons and he's always cutting things and recutting them and splicing things together and stuff like that. That
Actually, I suck
he's
at editing. I can tell you
he's
that.
he's a genius at it.
Yeah,
So
some people are.
I'm sure he could definitely help. My videos suck, but my editing is spot on. No stop. Your videos do not suck. Trust me. If you uh, if you could explain it to me, I would really definitely appreciate it. I mean, if I had your phone number, or if I gave you my phone number or whatever. Um,
That was a
uh,
bloop.
yeah, who am I? Just joined the channel. Who am I? Who am I?
Hey, Troy.
I'm here just because I love all y'all.
Oh, we love you too,
Well,
Troy.
it's good to see you, Troy.
I've been worried about you.
Uh, no biggie. I'm here and just wore out.
Yeah, I bet.
Did you need to shovel up more water from your basement after the second one?
Well,
Okay,
I finally got
thank you,
all
Mickey.
the water out of the basement, and I've been trying to dry it out for the past couple of days, but
Do
it's
you
been
have a sump
so much
pump?
that it's still coming in. So
Oh, do you have a sump
Uh,
pump to pump it out with?
no, the boys have been busy with school and everything. One of the nephews came down today. He helped a little bit and hauled trash tomorrow. So he came down and bagged up a lot of things that need to be going into the dumpster. So, well,
Um,
or I say dumpster, into the trash can to be hauled off tomorrow.
uh, Mickey, did you find my email on my about page on my
No,
channel?
I don't think so. Uh, I'm just coming on. It's going to take me a minute for my ears to get used to the sound off the phone. So,
It's okay. I was talking to Mickey.
okay. I'm sorry. Well, there again. Gonna take me a minute.
That's okay.
But guess what, though? I don't mean to interrupt and everything. I seen a very cool guy one time. He wore his hat backwards. So I'm trying
okay.
to be like Mickey.
Ah! Is that why your hat's backwards?
Well, the hat or me at being backwards.
Okay, Mickey. You can email me anytime. Uh, Marishu, yes, you're right, ma'am, Laurie's. Even I'm poor, I always find ways to earn money. Selling products I resell any kind. My father is farmer ever since, and my mother, store. My mother, she also have.
Illness.
Yeah,
Me also, but we always
illness.
find ways to earn money. Sometimes not enough because of maintenance, but we always pray.
There you go. There you go. You know, if you need money or you need help with anything, pray. And, don't go praying to the universe, because the universe ain't going to tell you nothing, because it's not, it's just a thing.
Yeah.
It's not alive.
Well, you know
Pray to
why I
God.
love Mary Sue so much? She is what we need to get back to, us as Americans,
Working your butts off.
working butts off to do with less because it don't take that much.
No, you don't need a bazillion dollars to live a good life.
No. And Mary Tube is so much richer than us here in the United States just because she is her and what her family is
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, absolutely. I agree. And she's got a bad heart.
Yeah.
Marianne says hi, Critter Creek.
Miss Laurie, I need to bounce out. I need to prepare for work.
Okay. You
7
take
o'clock,
care.
7 a.m. So,
I
Yeah.
know.
Take care, Shadow. Love
well,
you.
it's the last week. I need work now, and next week I have vacation for a month. So, I'm looking forward to that. All I need to is getting through this week first.
Yeah. Well, it might be rough, but you just got to you got to keep plugging around, plugging along, and get things done. And
Yeah,
then you get to the end of the week and you're golden for a month.
yeah,
So that's
that
good.
will be really nice, actually.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I really need it.
Yeah.
You
I
do.
think so.
Yeah. You need a break. You need a little time.
Uh,
Absolutely.
oh yeah, I definitely need it. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You
I'll
can
see you
take a
later,
break.
guys. I'll
All right.
see you
Take
tomorrow,
care, brother.
hopefully.
Love you, man.
Yep. Absolutely.
Take care, guys.
Good
Stay safe.
night.
God bless.
Good day.
Yeah.
God bless.
That is one good guy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He is a very good guy.
Yeah. But you know who
Absolutely.
we need to get up here on the panel?
Who would that be?
Ace.
Yeah.
And she has one hair, and I'm gonna stop it right there.
I did that. I did that once. Was it on my live? I know she was on somebody's live. I don't remember. I think it might have been my live, but she was on somebody's live and she was only up there for a little while and then she was gone again. But she is awesome.
Well,
I
I know,
love Ace.
and she gives really good hugs too.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. That's what all the guys are saying.
You know,
Uh,
Mickey can come up anytime he wants to.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Mickey is always welcome up here.
Yep. And there's so many good people in the chat. You can't really pick out one because there's so many of them.
I
But
know,
uh,
but they they're not into wanting to come up here and Wanda first and last, Troy. Was it Wanda's live that you went on? Okay. It was Wanda's.
yeah. Well, that's okay, Ace. I know I'm not nobody. So
I I think it was Linda that came up on mine. Hello,
but
Shawnee. Oh, how did I miss it? I didn't even see you sneak in. Hello, hello. I'm always
it's
in
all
my PJs when you're
right. You can be in your PJs or
throw a bathrobe on. We don't care.
pretty much. Yeah. We're all family here.
Yep. Of course, it'll be seen by the world, but
Well,
I
there's
don't think the world is going to be watching my lives.
well,
Seriously, I ain't gonna get that many views.
well, at my age and as grumpy as I get, I just don't care anymore
Yeah,
because my time in prison will be shorter every day.
Yeah. We all have to spend a little time in jail before we can get to the good place. Yep, it is. And that's how I want it to be. I want it to be a place where anybody can come and feel comfortable and not have to worry about having to deal with somebody that's cantankerous or
Yeah.
pissed off at the world or
What do you remember the first time I came up on your channel? And you were the second person that actually came on and joined the lives too.
I remember. I
And
was glad.
then it went to haywire after that.
I was happy that you came up on my live. That was fun.
Yeah. Well, that's what life's about: having fun, a good time, praising God, and
Absolutely.
and spending time with family.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a family member here from another state, so today I made them supper and gave them a garden tour. Well, that's nice.
That's cool.
That's great. That is
I,
always fun to do
it is.
when family comes to visit and you can take them out back and show them your garden. I really wish I could have a big garden again. I did have one at one point, but it's hard tilling rocks.
Well,
We do. We can grow a lot of rocks.
yeah.
We have a lot of rocks to grow. I really want to get some raised beds. I would love to get, at least three or four, 10
Yeah.
raised beds and, plant one with strawberries, one with blueberries. I'm talking, the nice 8 foot long,
Yeah.
2 feet high, at least 2 feet high,
I got a
so I
couple.
don't have to bend over.
Yeah. I got a couple in the basement down there that I would love to give the goat days, and of course they're just right across the border in Kentucky. But they got a lot of things going with family, right, going back and forth between there and Oklahoma. So
Uh,
I told them they're here whenever they need them or want them.
yeah, I would love to get some. I can't remember the name of the ones that Mark at Self Sufficient Me has. The ones made in Australia, not the ones made in China.
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 Well,
I want nothing
I
made
would
in
like to
China.
say can't because these were made in China.
Oh, guess who just popped in? Hello, my friend. How are you? Ups. He decided he didn't want to come visit us.
Well, that's the dark side of the family.
That's the dark side.
Love you, girl.
Mickey, what happened? You disappeared. Come
Oh,
on. Don't.
Mickey. Oh, Mickey.
Hello, Mickey. Are you there?
Mickey's always there lurking in the background.
I know, but he just went black.
Mickey, back out and then try to come back in again, please.
Yes. Yep. I, 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 I'm, I'm, I'm thinking he's probably.
You know,
I'm gonna
I've been able to be on a
now
lot.
see if I turn him off, he disappears, but he still shows up in the basement.
Well, he has to probably back out completely and then
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to do that. Come on, Mickey.
I got faith in you, brother.
I'm gonna turn this one off so that you can restart it and go from scratch. Do it again. Play it again, Sam. Oh no, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Mickey outed himself. Ah,
I want to do a video with me and Mickey with there's some I think they're Facebook, but they got on YouTube. It's like not the Hodges twins, but the Hollywood twins. And
oops. Okay, that there was a bloop, but there's nobody there. There's nobody home. What did I miss? We had steak, three kinds of potatoes, carrots, and onions. Ah, that sounds yummy.
I seen that.
Three kinds of potatoes.
That is awesome.
Someone gift this lady some raised beds. Ah, that's an awful. Okay, what is going on? I keep hearing the bloop like somebody's trying to get on, but oh, there he is again.
Yep.
Come on, Mickey, you can do it. You can do it.
We
Uh,
will be here. Mickey can make it up.
Mickey, why are you having such a hard time? You've never had a hard time like this before.
No, he hasn't.
I think he's got a yeah. I'm wondering if it's his. I don't know if he's trying to come in on his phone or if he's trying to come through his Wi-Fi. I need to pick radish, chives, garlic, cilantro, bok choy, lettuce, celery, dill, parsley tomorrow for the meal plan this week.
Easy Ace says blah 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 blah.
You had me. All of the above. There's only one thing I can't. I just can't eat. My mouth won't let me. Cilantro. It tastes like soap. Oh, good night, Chris. Thank you so much for being here. Thank
Hi.
you. I love you too. You take care of yourself. Yes, sir. Oh, he's back again. Now let's see. Mm, no. Oops. What the heck? What did I do? I'm trying to figure out a way to make it work better, but come on, Mickey, you can do it.
We got faith in you, brother. But
Absolutely.
no matter what, we're here for you.
Absolutely. Epic gardening. That's what it is. Birdie's beds. Yeah, I know they do. They sell the Birdie's beds. I used to watch them all the time, but I got a little annoyed with them because was it last year or the year before? In the fall, they had this contest about counting the different vegetables and fruits that they had in a picture. They put them all on a table, and they asked people to guess. Oh, it's back. Okay. Um,
Mickey, do you have is there a shutter on your camera or something that
yeah, I think you need to give permission to your camera because it doesn't seem to be allowing your camera to work. So I don't know what the heck it is. I'm gonna remove the oldest one
yeah.
and leave the newest.
It's probably just me jinxing everything. So
No, sir.
my mom always said it was.
Anyway, when Epic Gardening had this little contest, and they said they were going to give away some Birdie's beds, and I put my guess as to what was on the table, and a whole bunch of other people, and they never ever picked a winner. And they never announced that anybody won. They never even mentioned it again. All of a sudden, it was done. It was gone. Nobody won the birdie's bed. Nothing. I don't know what the heck happened, but it really annoyed me. Oh, there goes Mickey again. Yeah, I don't know what happened. They didn't even give an explanation as to, if there was some kind of a problem with the contest, or if something happened to one of them, because it was oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name. uh Eric, is it Eric? And the other guy, and they had this huge pile of vegetables and stuff that they had picked um, from their gardens. And it was like, I can't remember exactly what the heck the contest was. Something about if you could name all of the different vegetables, or if you could count how many different vegetables there were, something like that. I'm trying to shut down the phone. Oh, okay. Jacques. Yeah, Jacques.
You got
Kevin.
your brother.
I don't know why I'm thinking Eric. Oh, probably because it's epic. Hello, Dingbat. It's Kevin and Jacques. Yeah. I used to watch them all the time. And then that happened, and it was like, well, what the heck are they doing? Why did they do that? Got and everybody in the chat underneath the video was saying, "Is anybody going to win this contest? What the heck is going on with the contest? Why aren't you giving this thing away?" And it just went away, and nobody. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm not the only one. I know. I thought it was weird because I love the guys. And it just really it 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 really annoyed me to the point where it's like the least you can do is post and give an answer for what happened and how come it didn't happen. I don't know. It was weird. I think it was like 2 years ago at the end of the season. They had this big table, and for a long time I had it bookmarked on my favorites list. And I every once in a while I'd go back and look at it, and people would still be saying, is there anybody ever going to win this contest? What the heck happened? At least give us some kind of explanation as to what happened. I had it bookmarked. Look who we have here!
There he is.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, thank you, God.
That's great. We can hear you too. Hey, brother.
Hello, my friend.
Am I in the screen? Or?
You are. You are.
It looks weird on my phone. But, oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. You're fine. You're looking good.
Well, I'm always looking good. I mean,
I know.
I got my hat on for Troy. You know.
He's got it backwards. Who the
Oh,
heck was on TV that started that silly thing?
I did. I'm like 100 years old.
You're only
I don't remember.
about a year younger than I am, so.
I don't think I'm younger than you, bub.
You're not younger than me. I mean, you're
I
not
know that,
older
I
than
know
me.
that my mother told me that Troy was my younger brother, far removed.
You're a lot younger than me, both of you.
Well, that's possible.
I can't argue with my mama, you know.
No, you never do.
And she did say that we had an older sister somewhere. I don't know who that is, but you know.
Yep.
It could be. You never know.
That reminds me of a story one time. I was working at the Savannah River site in Aiken, South Carolina. We were down there doing a job. We actually imploded the K nuclear cooling tower. And it was quicker for me to just drive all the way down and then go to the bottom side and then come back in to the gate. And sitting there and was going through there. And whenever I got up there to the gate, the guard that was there working, he looked at me and he looked at my badge and everything. And of course, and I don't mean anything by this or anything, but the guy was the guy was colored, and he looked at me. He said, "Oh, you're my brother." And I looked at him, and he showed the badge. I said, "Oh, you're the one Daddy told me about." And you know what? We actually became best friends after that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
I
a
would go to
riot.
his house for dinner with his family, and he would come to my for dinner and go down to the VFW and hang out all the time. That's probably one of my best friends I ever.
Oh, that's
Out of
so.
the military, he was probably the best friend I ever had.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
I'm
Oh,
out. I'm out there in Texas, right? And I see a Bucky's. Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
So you know I'm a storyteller, right?
No, really?
Well, I mean, I tell stories of my life. All right. So I'm over 60 now, and it wasn't too long ago I was uh, in Texas driving through, and I'd never been to a Bucky's. I was born in Texas, live in Oklahoma, and I'd never been to a Bucky's. But I got invited on to a podcast for. Do y'all know who Granger Smith is?
Yes.
Sounds
Okay.
familiar.
Yeah, he's a country and western singer. He lives in Texas.
Yeah.
Has had a Granger Smith channel, the Granger Smith podcast. He was up and coming in Nashville. Well, he had two bus drivers, okay, that were named. Their names were Butch and Bull. And when that big virus thing hit, you know, Granger talked, they had to come off the road. They couldn't go touring, right? So he talked these bus drivers into starting their own YouTube channel, telling stories about what it's like being on the road, plus their mechanics and so and all that. So I got hooked on the bus drivers channel. I like Granger Smith, and he has an alter ego named Earl Dibbles Jr. I love Earl Dibbles Jr. Trust me, I'm a red.
Earl Nibbles. I love the name.
Earl Dibbles Jr. If you're listening in, go check that out because Earl Dibbles Jr. is a redneck through and through. Right, Troy? All right.
No
But
doubt about
but
that.
I got hooked during the time of that virus thing, and Granger Smith said, "Go check out my bus drivers, their channel. Their channel's name is Butch and Bull." Okay, and so anyway, I went and checked it out and just flipped out. We're talking two rednecks from Texas driving a bus for a country music star that's up and coming, and they would tell it like it was. All right, and they'd be sitting in their garage drinking a cold Miller Lite and say, "Here's the thing," you know. So anyway, I got hooked on this channel. I sent them some fan art, right? Next thing you know, I was designing a whole line of T-shirts for these guys. If you look in my background in my videos, it says "risky business." You know, it has the skull with the Miller Lite cans coming out for breathing tubes. That was them. Risky business with Butch and Bull.
Yeah.
All right. So I can't tell a story in under 10 minutes, but I'm trying to make this fast so everybody don't leave the chat. All right. So I designed their whole spring line of T-shirts for them, right? And they asked me if I would come to Texas and be on their live. I didn't know nothing about YouTube, you know. But they said come be on our live, and I said, well, you know, it's a long way to Texas and all that stuff. And they said, is that
But
Billy
you
Bob?
did.
Huh?
But you did.
I didn't know at the time what a live was, but they said it's at Billy Bob's in Texas, and then you can watch Granger that night free. We'll put you on a table and stuff, up front. I said, on a table? Hey, I'm a redneck. You put me on a table, we're fixing to go to jail. But anyway, they they went ahead and invited me to come up and be on their live. Really didn't know what it was about, but they were going to promote the T-shirts that I did for their line on a live on YouTube. Okay, I knew what YouTube was, but I really didn't know what that meant. I drove to Billy Bob's in Texas, got there about 12 hours early because I was excited about being at Billy Bob's. And isn't that where they made that movie, that urban cowboy thing? Anyway.
I have no idea. Was that Billy Bob's? Seriously?
It was. Anyway, it was. Anyway, I got there early, and it was like I stepped back into my youth. There were Mexicans and cowboys riding horses through the parking lot. I mean, headed to Billy Bob's, and I was like, I had a, I don't know what it was. It wasn't an iPhone at the time. I had my camera out, and I almost got ran over 2 or 3 times. These Mexicans wearing conchos and big, nice, cool hats, and I was just drawn into this world. I did not know there was such a thing as, that longhorn steer run thing through town.
Oh, yeah.
And I did not know that. I'd never been there. And I'm from Texas. I did not know that thing was a big thing. All I kept seeing was these cowboys coming through.
What part of Texas was it in?
Well, it's Billy Bob's right there by the Longhorn Steer Run thing. Anybody in the chat know where that's at? The Fort Worth something or other. Anyway, I did not know that's what's going on. Right next door to Billy Bob's. Okay, there's a whole town there. It's a cowboy town. All right. How could I not know the stockyards is right next door to the bar? I don't know. But anyway, I was just standing out in the middle of a parking lot where I got dropped off. And I said, pick me up in about, 8 hours because I was there way early. And I was standing out there with my little phone, and I was filming all this stuff. These cowboys kept coming by, almost running me over. Then I went walking around Billy Bob's and, went this way, and I found this whole arena with all these longhorn steers, and I'm just like, oh, my God, I'm in heaven. I'm filming this stuff. I did not know this was a thing, okay?
Wow.
So anyway, this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But I did go film a live with Butch and Bull, okay? One of my videos, or 20 of my videos, shows a clip of that. But on the way home, see, this had nothing to do with Billy Bob's and all that story. All right. On my way home, we stopped by Buc-ee's.
You've never been there before.
I've never been there before either. I was on cloud 9 now. I've got friends all over the world because I found out what these lives were, right?
Yeah.
And I got to hear them reading out the comments as they were holding up my T-shirt designs and stuff, and I got to hear all their. I didn't know how many subscribers they had. I didn't know what a subscriber was, but anyway, I found out real quick that the shirts were popular. So I was on cloud 9, headed back to Oklahoma where I was living, and there was a Bucky's, and I said, "You got to take me to Bucky's. I've heard about it now, and I gotta see it." Right. So I went to Bucky's. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your beliefs are. I've never met a person I couldn't make a friend with. Okay.
Yeah.
So I went into Bucky's and I thought, I'm going to start my own YouTube channel. I took I can't even remember, what was that, a Samsung phone or something? I took that thing out and I didn't have one of them sticks. Okay. So before I got out the car, I knew it wasn't going to look professional, but I took a clothes hanger and bent it over and I duct taped my phone without the camera being blocked to that thing, to that clothes hanger, and I went into Bucky's like I owned the place. I was walking around and with stuff like this. Man, have you ever seen a bathroom in anywhere like this? I'm like flashing around. These old boys are trying to pull their pants up and stuff. I'm walking around going, "What are Bucky's Nuggets?" I never put these videos online because I found out they were like all these,
Going.
I got all these policies. I found out when you go to make a channel, there's all these rules, regulations, and in my Bucky's adventure, it was like I would have violated. I'd have been demonetized before I ever had any subscribers. But the best part of the whole video was I got ready to leave. And I went outside and they had that big bronze Bucky statue, you know.
God bless
So I
you.
went up there and started shaking that little bronze statue's hand and told my driver, I said, "Hey, film me. This is my intro." Okay. I didn't know what an intro was. But anyway, I said, film me. And then this gentleman came by, this guy came by and he goes, "How long are you going to be there?" He said, "I wanted to get a picture of myself next to the Bucky statue." It was a black guy, no big deal to me. And I said, "Hey, what's your name?" And he told me, and I told him my name. And I said, "Hey, I'm making my first YouTube video ever. Won't you be in it with me?" Not only did we get in there, both of us shaking each other's hands, I gave him a bro hug because he was so cool. And then we exchanged numbers. And I said, "You need to check out my YouTube channel, Critter Creek." And I said, "You're going to be on my first video I ever made." And we have stayed in touch ever since.
Oh, that's cool.
Rednecks. Never met a person that we couldn't call friend unless they went correct. Unless they went
Trust me,
crazy.
I'm a northern redneck. I've been saying that for years.
Never met a stranger.
I am a northern redneck because I'm the same way.
Yep. Anyway, that old boy he just wanted to get his picture made with Bucky. That's all I was there for. But we met, we shook hands. I gave him a bro hug. We started talking after I said, "Shut that camera off. Let us talk." I didn't say that because I was looking for good footage. I didn't know what A roll, B roll, or anything else was, but we did stay in touch. And he did watch the first video that came out that he was in it. So it was cool.
You know, Mickey kind of makes himself proud because he does research and everything. But you know, I think I've seen that actually before I even met Mickey.
It was one of my very first videos. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
but I tell you what, the one he did for oh dang, I can't think of his name now. From Duck Dynasty.
Oh, yeah, good. John Godwin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Hey, but
perfect.
you had Troy. I was a big Duck Dynasty fan,
Yeah,
and I started taking notes when I saw that episode back on the show when they called him the Flying Flea, and he was riding
yeah,
around
yes,
on
yes.
that little mini bike, you know. And I took notes back then, okay, because I was a huge Duck Dynasty fan, and I did a T-shirt design for Uncle Si, and I kept thinking Uncle Si and Phil and the brothers get all this attention, but man, these backup people on this show are amazing.
They
When I saw when
and
I saw
them in person, what their them as what they do in their life
well,
are
I've got yeah, Troy,
amazing.
I agree. I've got spiritual eyes, man, and I was going John Godwin, Martin, and those people are spiritual.
Yes,
And when I saw that episode of him riding that mini bike in Duck Dynasty, and he said, "Yeah, when I was a kid, they called me the Flying Flea." I thought, "That's it. That's a T-shirt right there." And so
yeah,
I started designing it. Then I already had it done when I saw their YouTube channel, so I just sent it straight to Duck Dynasty. Sent it straight to the office.
yeah.
And so this is for John Godwin. They weren't expecting it, but I got an email immediately,
Really,
you know, from the head office saying that was the most amazing thing because they knew the detail and it meant something because it was part of the series, you know.
yeah,
And by then they had the Duck Call Room podcast, you know, because the series was done with. And they said you need to watch the next week's episode. And I thought, okay, you
yeah.
know.
That's
So
probably
I logged in, and when he stood up and showed that shirt, and when Uncle Si started saying, well, you want to know something else, you know? And I thought, oh, no way, you know. And sure enough, he stood up and showed that shirt and called me by name at Critter Creek.
yeah.
Man, I started bawling like a big old baby.
That
Oh
but
my.
that was so cool though.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. And then I got emails and stuff like that, you know. So it I've had some of those minutes in my artistic life. I think that one meant the most to me.
Well,
You
you
know the
were every minute of it.
you know those guys, right? Or you know,
I've seen clips of the show, but I never really watched the show.
but Troy, you're from that area, right?
Somewhat.
Oh, okay. I must have misunderstood you, but yeah. But you know the show and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I have definitely heard of it, and I do remember watching clips of it here and there. But yeah,
well,
it
no,
wasn't something that I
I'm
really
here
watched.
just in southeast West Virginia.
What?
So uh, how how many people would think some nobody from southeast West Virginia would get to be able to be friends with so many people across the world?
Right, right.
I know.
And
I don't know what
and actually
southeast.
and that I actually call family because
Yeah,
y'all are family.
yeah.
Yep, absolutely. I feel the same way. There's so many good people I've met through YouTube, and
I think I asked you this before, but maybe I don't remember. Do you know where Rock Camp, West Virginia is? No. All right.
About 10 miles that way.
Zenith, West Virginia.
Zenith, you go up there, and then you turn off. You go to Rock Camp, then you turn to go to Zenith up there,
Yeah,
like you're
yeah.
going to the fire up to the old. We call it the fire tire.
Have you ever heard the stories that? The fire turn. Have you ever heard the stories I turned about living in the cave? I told about living in the cave.
No,
That was up on the mountain above Zenith. You haven't heard those stories
no, I heard that before.
where them red West Virginia rednecks used to pay me money to paintball hunt me down the mountain.
Oh, no
Uh,
way.
you know what? No, I never heard that, but
I'm not kidding.
I can tell you the names of the people that did it.
Yeah. Hey, my best buddy. Well, after he shot me about 100 times, if you know this name, then you know the sawmill. But his name was Bear Dog. I know he had a real name, but I never knew it. You know, and I actually everywhere I go,
but it wouldn't be good right now. Yeah, well, I'm not going to say it right now.
yeah. Don't say it. We'll talk.
I can't believe this.
Hang on. I'm the one that painted Bear Dog Sawmill, that 6-foot tall sawmill blade. There was a sign heading up the mountain.
Really?
And at the bottom of it, in real small letters, he contracted me to paint. I said, "Don't go up there if you don't know." Because they will say, "We're not going to kill you. We're not going to kill you."
Is that right now?
I know. I bet you do. And I was the one that painted it. But if you go up there, they'll say, "We're not going to kill you if you let us hunt you."
Yeah.
And you're like you're thinking about all those backwoods movies. Where,
Yeah.
Bad Joe's playing. They say, "Hey, it's not like that. We're not going to kill you. We're going to hunt you with paintball guns. If you make it down to the bottom of this mountain, there's a beer joint down there at the bottom. It's actually a store, but they got beer. Then we'll buy all your beer for the rest of the night, and we'll give you $100." And I said, "Wait, you had me at beer. You could have stopped." And I took off. I'm like, I took off running, you know.
Yeah. Well, Mickey, I'm going to drop my town name, which I usually don't do, and you probably won't remember it or anything. But I'm actually in Peterstown.
Oh my, Peterstown, West Virginia. Yeah. Oh my God. You may know all my best friends on the planet still. Yeah. I mean, I worked. Okay, we're sorry for everybody in chat. This is all about us now.
That's okay.
Have you ever taken the winter off to go shovel snow off the coal carts? Man, they pay big money. Yep.
I only got one question.
Uh-oh.
I got 7 answers.
There's extra bedroom waiting for you.
Are you still in Petersburg?
I'm still in Peterstown. Yep. Right here, right next to town.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say exactly where, but
you got some country, or are you in the town?
I'm 3 miles out from town.
All right. I'm not asking you no more specifics.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
but
when I tell
I will send you travel money to come.
I'm listening, man. I am listening. I'm gonna email you, and because still some of my best people on the planet, people that I went out and lived with for a long time, got me started out there, kept me alive, probably. Were born and
Just
raised
saying.
there in,
We,
it was, uh, well, Rock Camp was there on the road, on the highway.
yeah.
And you took that road off there. I can't remember the name of that road that went around and connected
It's
into
Zenith
Zenith.
Road.
Huh?
It's Zenith Road.
Zenith Road. That's what it is. And but they owned all that tobacco farming in there. Okay, that's where I learned to farm tobacco.
Uh,
And
well, guess what? This year is my high school 35th. Uh,
35th.
it's the 35th reunion, high school reunion,
Yeah.
and guess where we are doing it at?
Where at?
Right there on the backside of that mountain,
Ah,
on the friend of mine, his family owns that all that property and everything, and there's a couple. The one I went to high school with, he built a cabin on the side of the mountain up there, and that's where we're going to meet.
one of my first cabin designs was for, okay, you know where the store is in Rock Camp.
Yeah,
That was owned by Pinky.
really?
Yeah, you remember Pinky by any chance?
Yeah.
Okay, I won that store from her in a poker game. I'm not kidding. And she literally was going to sign that store and the deed over, and I said, "Here's what I'll do:
Yeah.
just supply me with free beer and cigarettes."
Yeah.
And I said, "We're even." I said, "Just don't ever charge me when I come in for beer and cigarettes." I didn't want the store. I just liked playing poker, and I didn't mean to win it, but we drank too much that night. She kept betting, and I won the store. That's the truth. That is 100% true story.
Yeah.
And I can tell you all about her and her family. Her brother was a professional whitewater rafting guide up on the Gauntlet. You know, but anyway, they own property upside that mountain. But from that store where the road was leading to Zenith, all right, you make that turn on the mountain. When you make that turn, my buddies owned my buddy owned everything on the left hand side and the right hand side all the way up that mountain.
Well, when you turn down that road and you get there, and then there's a big 2-story white farmhouse on the left hand side.
Is that before the cow um, dairy the small dairy area?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah.
but turn off there and you go up there. That's where our high school reunion is at.
Yeah. And where that dairy was Grandpa Wackel's,
Yeah,
where it started, and my buddy was Wackel. That's who my buddy was.
yeah.
And we're still buddies. We still talk on the phone. They keep trying to talk me into moving back out there.
Well, drop him my name.
Oh, I will, Troy. Don't think
'Cause,
I won't.
I went to school with all the Wackles and everything, and so
Hey, Walker was he ran them trucks for the sawmill for years, and he's the one that got me hooked up with Bill Tingler.
yeah,
And Bill Tingler was the guy that got me started blueprinting the old 1800s log cabins. I've told the stories before, but I never put no names with them,
yeah.
And anyway,
You know,
I
like me and my cousin. Well, actually, my cousin bought an old truck. Is a 1923 Chevy 2-ton, and he bought it at auction. It had an old tractor on the back of it, which was a 1927 Chevy Roadster, and I got the roaster. He bought the truck, but he sold the engine out of that truck to the Weichels to run the sawmill.
Oh yeah, and the sawmill did have an engine and a whole belt system. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. See, I'm gonna keep you on speed dial so you can verify some of these stories, because you know where the old Zenith store was.
I think so.
It was just a small thing in Zenith, West Virginia, which was population 4 or 6. You know, old Jack that owned the Zenith store for all them years. When I tell stories about him and that area, people just don't believe it. And I say, it's a real place.
Oh, it is. Well, they had the big the mill there that had like a almost a 3-story water wheel.
It did. It did. It had a water wheel there and still worked.
Yes.
Now, okay. Here's the reason I said I'm going to keep you on hand for a reference. I've told people that the first tractor that I ever drove in West Virginia had small wheels on the right hand side. It had these big, huge wheels on the left hand side, and it I mean, literally set like this. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
And
inside the
when
hill, it was level.
Don Weichel brought me out there he said, "Can you farm?" And I said, "I can drive anything on the planet."
Yeah.
The first day he put me on a tractor was an old Allison that it was sitting like this. And I said, "The tires aren't even the same size." He goes, "It'll work perfect where we're going." And so I drove all the way behind him like this. And hanging on, so I didn't fall out. We got to there. He was growing potatoes on the side of a mountain. He said, "Whatever you do,"
That's a riot.
he said, "Whatever you do, don't turn around.
Don't
He
turn
said,
around.
Back up." He said, "When you get to the end, back up and just go again." He said, and I've told that story, but it is true.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh
my God, Troy.
hilarious.
All right, man. I'm so sorry. We have not talked before now. Best times of my life.
That is hilarious.
I've told
What a
the
small
story.
world.
I know. I've told the story about climbing Peter's Mountain, and I found a cave. He's pointing at it. He's pointing at Peter's Mountain. I climbed up there and found a cave, but I didn't. I wanted to go into it because I'm big on spelunking and stuff. Been all through the Mojave Desert and everything, but I didn't want to go in there knowing that I didn't know anything about West Virginia. So I hiked all the way back down the mountain. Took me a half a day, and I bought a 12-pack of beer. And I hiked back up the mountain. This was my logic. I hiked back up the mountain, and by then it was dark. So I just built a little fire and waited until the next morning. Didn't get ate by a bear, so I thought it was good. All right. So
That was a plus.
I had a 12-pack of beer, no food, and I set that beer right by the mouth of that cave, and I opened one. And I went inside that cave and started exploring. My brain said, "You will never not be able to smell that open beer." I never got lost. I never got lost in that mountain. I was in there 6 or 7 hours and was still convinced I could find that entrance. But when I did find it, I was in panic mode, and I did drink all 12 of them beers.
Oh, I bet.
Well,
I was scared. Hey, by the time I made it back, I was scared. And I learned two things. I can't smell beer from it. And the next thing is that you don't want to spend 2 nights on Peter's Mountain.
Yeah.
Because the next day I had these rednecks trying to hunt me down the mountain with paintball guns. So,
Well, I think Mickey.
it wasn't until I met Jack at the old store down at the bottom of the mountain that I found out I was lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mickey, do you did you ever watch wrestling back in the 1990s? Where
Yeah, I watched the Wahoo McDaniels and
Wahoo is, well, he's not too far from here, and he actually still has a school over there.
really.
Did you ever see a guy? His gimmick was Henry O. Godwin.
Was what?
Henry O. Godwin.
I
It
don't think
spells out
so.
hog. Back in the 90s, he was a wrestler that actually, and he was supposedly a pig farmer from Arkansas, and he carried a bucket of pig slop.
No, cool.
Ew.
And that's great guy.
Oh, yuck.
But well, he lives right up here on the side of Peters Mountain
Oh, really, man?
because
Yeah.
he was raised, his family and everything. His granddaddy was right here, out down next to the river on the other side. What was his name? One of the nicest guys you will ever meet. He actually they actually ran him out of the wrestling because he was in a big car wreck and everything, and Vince McMahon kicked him out because of the medication that they had him on for pain.
Huh.
Oh man, what was his name? But Henry O. Godwin from the Godwin twins. They got like 2 championship wrestling belts, world wrestling championships and stuff.
Yeah, I used to watch it. The Wahoo McDaniels, Cowboy Bill Watts, and that,
Yeah.
In the early days.
Yeah.
But
Well,
West
Wahoo
Virginia,
was
one of my favorite places. Plus, it is probably one of those things that you don't want to tell people about because it's so beautiful. You want it preserved, but then the rednecks up there, it's gonna be preserved.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But
you're not going to go in there and start a bunch of
come down here,
stuff.
take over the entire county.
Yeah, I remember I was there about a year and a half, and I did some artwork for that Jack store there, Zenith, the Zenith store. It didn't have a name, but anyway, I did some artwork for it with a West Virginia mountaineer looking kind of cartoons. Of course, that's what I do. And people were coming from all over the county to buy that T-shirt. And Jack, he went, man, what's it going to take to get some more of these? And I said, well, here's what I need. We started making West Virginia Mountaineer. We had the Green Tide shirts. We had, Zenith shirts with the map of Zenith, which was like the Zenith store, the firehouse, the volunteer firehouse, and that was it.
Yeah.
But it had the 2 local dogs in the T-shirt. Man, I was making more money in Zenith, West Virginia, where the population was 6,
Yeah.
than I've made in any big city. You know,
Was it-
they were coming off the
People
mountains,
don't realize.
which gave me credibility to the people there, so I became friends with them. That's how I went up to Bear Dog Sawmill, did their sign. There was a whole bunch of families in there that are long in there, and I did their family signs, and I did signs here and signs there. I down at that old fire station,
Yeah.
hand painting signs.
Yeah.
They
See,
love me. They love me in West Virginia.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you're an artist, you can go to jail and make a living.
yeah. Was it?
If you're an artist, you can go to West Virginia and make a living.
Monroe County is
As long as you're true and
different
honest.
than anywhere else. It is the only county east of the Mississippi River that the county there is no stoplights.
I never saw one.
We had one flashing red light in Union, but they took
Union,
it. Everybody-
Union, West Virginia. Yep.
And
Yep.
the cattle population outnumbers the people
Yep.
3-1.
Yep.
And there is no fast food of any
No.
kind.
Union was the only place you can go to find a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was only one, but it was good. Yeah. Or at least I only remember one. But
If you come in, I got some places to take you for
All
some
right,
really good
It
food.
lost control.
all right, there's some places I can't go back to because I flirted with like the wrong women. But I'm kidding.
Well,
kidding.
Mickey, you're not
I'm
in that one,
I'm kidding. I can go anywhere there.
Troy,
ma'am.
what did you say that guy's name was?
Which one? Henry Godwin.
Henry Godwin.
Henry Godwin.
And Mark
His
Patterson.
wrestling name, his real name, that was his wrestling name, Henry Godwin.
Yeah.
His real name is Mark Canterbury.
Yeah.
I looked him up.
Henry Godwin. I'll check that out too. Yeah.
He's a great guy.
You gonna be here a minute? I gotta run to the restroom.
Go right ahead.
When you get back, Mickey, I'm going to do the same thing.
All
But
right,
I'll wait for you.
all right, give me 5 seconds here. Or 5 minutes. Whatever.
But yeah, Mark is a really good guy. And he actually had a really, if you look into his past, he had some really bad things happen family wise.
Um,
And he actually down in next to Pigeon Forge, there's a college scholarship that they set up for his son who died down there while he was a high school football player.
I can't.
Yeah. Well, his son died from a hunting accident.
Oh God, really?
Yeah. When he was in high school, because they lived down there at the time, and so they have a scholarship set up for the high school and stuff. And yeah, it's
Well, that sucks.
kind of a sad story, but they still, even the high school, they still do things for him every year.
Yeah, I I don't remember him from wrestling. Back then, I think that was because we used
Probably
to.
his most famous match was between him and who they call Triple H. Now they had a hog pen match, which they actually set up a hog pen right next to the ring at I think it's SummerSlam or one of them. It's a big major events, and they had like hog panels set up all around, and like 3 pigs in there, and then they hauled in all the pig slop and everything laid out.
Ew, yuck. Uh,
Yeah, right.
Well,
uh,
Mickey's back. If you don't mind, would you mind if I took off for a few minutes? Well,
Yeah,
a few seconds.
I need to apologize to Lori anyway. So
Yeah, but that,
that's okay. I've been having a good time just listening to you guys
well,
because this
I
class,
didn't mean to take over your chat, ma'am. I found somebody who's been where I've been that could actually verify some of my stories.
yeah,
Because I talk too much. Everybody knows that by now. Uh, but anyway, I'm a storyteller. You know,
I know,
I'm
I
60 something. I'm 60 something years old, and I'll tell stories, and I'll get these comments and say that never happened, this and that, and I'm like going, okay, all right, cool.
know. You don't have
Uh,
to believe it.
but they did, you know, and there are people like that all over the world. I've told a bunch of stories about West Virginia, you know,
Uh-oh. Troy
and
disappeared.
they're all good. I mean, all my memories are good, you know. Um, but
That was absolutely perfect though. I mean,
you,
seriously.
you tell somebody that you got chased off the side of a Peters Mountain by a she bear just because you wanted to play with their cubs, you know, and people will say that never happened, this and that. Well, there's somebody I just kind of I mean I know Troy, but I mean I didn't know him, but he can verify that stuff happens, you know.
Yeah,
Um, so
that's hilarious.
anyway,
I
it was
have,
good.
I have a
That was
nephew that's from West Virginia. Well, he was originally from Maryland, but he spent most of his life in West Virginia. His family is, I guess, some big deal down there in coal mining.
yeah, yep. Man, I spent a lot of time in those coal mining towns.
Their last, they used to run the big drilling machines
Yeah,
that used to
yeah,
bore the
yep,
holes in the mountain.
yep. I
That was
was I was living in Norman, Oklahoma, and there was somebody I didn't even know, nothing, had no connections to, um, and um, it was a man that owned a salvage yard and a auto mechanic shop up on the rough south streets of Oklahoma City. Okay, and he passed away. And so he left a wife that was older, you know, and she didn't know what to do because in this salvage yard was about I would say at least 10 $12 million worth of classic cars. You know, now they were in various states,
Yeah.
but it was like surrounded by the Mexican mafia, the Crips, and the Bloods. Each one had their own
Oh
corner.
God.
And so this place was fixing to be ransacked, right? And when the dad died, the daughter came home back to Oklahoma City and was, you know, talking to her mom, saying, "What are we gonna do?" I mean, because they're gonna be in here because the dad was well known for owning a gun and protecting his property. Anyway, he was he was known as the old white man on the corner, you know. So anyway, long story short, he the daughter and the mother were talking, and the daughter had grew up there in Oklahoma City, and one of her old friends came over and was listening in on the conversation. Said, "I got somebody you should call." And she said, "This guy works security, but I mean, not like licensed security, you know. He's an old biker, and he's kind of a hired gun, in a sense. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way, but so I got a call from this woman, and she said, we lost my dad, and my mom's living up on the south side of Oklahoma City. He told me where it was, and I said, woohoo, bad police, you know. And she said, we will pay you to come up there and just secure the place until we figure out what to do with it, you know. And I went like, back then I had hair and it wasn't white. And I went, oof, not sure you can afford that. And she goes like, we'll give you, and she told me what they'd give me, and I said, nah, that's too much. I said, give me all the beer, give me all the beer I can drink, pay for my cigarettes, and give me enough for food a month. So I went up there and moved into that building. She went out to the mother went out to her um, roots and place in West Virginia. Okay. And I stayed there for 6 months securing the property, making sure nobody stole it. That's how I met the daughter and her son, who became my best friend, or daughter and her husband, who became my best friends, who tried to talk me into moving to West Virginia. So
Ah.
I worked security in Oklahoma City in the craziest part of everywhere. And I must have been doing all right, Lori, because I would go down to the store of the nighttime, 7-Eleven way down on the highway, and I'd walk in there and these little kids would kind of scatter away from me. Say, that's the crazy white dude on the corner. And that was just because every time there was a noise in the salvage yard, I'd just go out and shoot, shoot in the air. I wasn't shooting at them. They called me the crazy white dude on the corner. And anyway, we ended up getting transport trucks in there. And we moved out about, I would say, $3 or $4 million worth of classic cars on transport trucks that went out to West Virginia to their barns.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And yeah, that's where I got my Mustang in. 1967 and a half Mustang, 99% restored. So, yeah, it was, I mean, it's real life. I mean, I just got to live through it. Thank God I lived through it because I'm sincere.
I mean,
But that's how I met the whole West Virginia thing, and they talked me into moving out there to farm for them. And thank you, Ace. I see that. Thank you. But that's how I moved out there, and I tell like a million stories, and they're all true. So
Troy has lost his phone. His phone died.
he dropped it in the
That's
toilet.
that's how he got booted off, and he's charging it.
Anyway, I didn't mean to hog the channel, but
Okay, so he's getting on the computer now. That's okay. I enjoyed it. Are you kidding me?
I got a million of those stories just like that. And but when you live to be 60, you know, and then 60 plus, but when you live that long, you got a few of them kind of crazy stories. I just happened to be one of them dumb ones that ran up and down the highway a lot, so I had more dumb stories than most people.
Yeah, well, when you get up to be 70 plus,
I ain't never gonna say that, but I hope. I mean, it'd be nice. I asked the Lord, can I just see 70? But I don't know if that's gonna happen. But,
yeah, I didn't think so either. When it
yeah,
did.
you're probably not laying in bed about 16 hours a day right now, though. You know, so.
No, but I know I'm not in the best shape I've ever been in. That's for sure.
Well,
I don't know
we
how long I got left, but
we know that
enjoy
we
it
know we're
while I
not in the best shape we're ever in. We know that. That's common sense. Everybody can say that, you know. But
can. See, Ace said
but you
she's enjoying it too.
but you start knowing when stuff's changing, you know. So
Oh yeah, I know.
I can't draw no more. You know, I can't see the monitor. You know, and you have all these things, whether you're female or male or whatever. You have all these things in your mind that defines you. You know, in your heart. You know, it's what defines you. And when you can't drive no more and you're a man, it starts to. If you're a faith based creature, then you can get through that. You just
Yeah,
can't drive. You know, you can't drive. You have to be. You have to start being nicer to people that help you get to the store. You know, um, you can get through that, but one by one thing happens, and then it gets harder and harder to keep your chin up.
I know.
When I couldn't see out of this eye, and I started misspelling everything on the computer, you know, and people started calling it out to me and telling me what I misspelled and stuff. Um, my art started to suffer. I couldn't see very well. When I when I quit drawing cartoons and stuff, it was kind of my heart, my soul. You know, it's like that's what defines me, and it was hard. It was hard to go through. You know, but it don't matter.
You
You got to
gotta.
keep laughing. You got to keep smiling. So
Yeah, it's God testing you and saying, it's time for you to slow down and maybe you
no,
need to start focusing on the other things at this point.
no insulting kidding, but bullshit. You know, it ain't God testing me. It ain't or my belief. Okay, it
Okay.
ain't God. It ain't God testing me. Um, he may listen in to see how I respond.
Well,
You know,
yeah, it's
but God is anything that in my belief, anything that's good comes from God. Okay, that's it. God doesn't
Okay.
test me. God doesn't tempt me. God doesn't want to know how I'm going to respond to.
He doesn't test you directly,
No, but
but he
but there are.
allows you to
But
be tested.
he may allow things in my life.
Yeah.
But it's not, God's will. It's not that, or I don't see it that way. I think that we
God has
just
two
go
different
we
wills.
go through things, but God is interested in how we respond to those things. And I've lost a lot in my lifetime, you know, and I'm just not someone that curses God for that. You know, I'm not someone that blames God or says God's testing me or any of that stuff. If I'm being tested at all, I've been allowed to be tested.
That's what I mean.
There's a hedge of protection that is placed around um, God's children if they know how to ask for it. But if things happen that aren't great, don't feel great, or whatever, part of it's just getting old. You know, um, if if you start to forget stuff, it's not a curse.
No.
It's natural process. It's the body somehow. I don't know how it works. I don't care how it works. All I know is that I'm not going to get to the gates of heaven someday. If they call my name and let me in, I'm not going to say, "What was up with the toothache?" You know, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to be going like, "Okay, I need to know something here." You know,
I want to know why you gave me this to do or
how come
why
I
you
couldn't?
did this to me.
Yeah, how come I couldn't see no more to draw cartoons of people on YouTube?
Because he's
I'm,
got
I'm gonna
something
be going.
else for you to do
I'm
now.
gonna fall down on my face right in front of that river of life. I may try to rename it Critter Creek, you know, but I'm gonna fall down in front of the feet of Jesus Christ, and I'm gonna say thank you. That's all I. That's all I got.
There you go. That's
If
what
I'm
you gotta
able, if I'm able to bring those words forward, I doubt it. Uh, yeah, all this stuff. I'm not. I'm not. I don't ever think I've ever been tested or trial or anything like that from God. You know, God
We're
is
all
good.
tested every
If
day.
God said clearly to me when I was a younger person, He said, "I am not the author of confusion,
No. I didn't
chaos,
say he was the
chaos."
author of confusion. I didn't say anything like
And,
that.
and and He clearly said, "All things that are good come from me." You know.
Okay.
So I
If
live by that.
if
And
he's not testing you, what do you call what happened to Jesus?
well, Jesus was told what was going to happen. It wasn't a test. I mean, Jesus knew what was going to happen. It wasn't a test. He was told when he left heaven what was going to happen.
He knew. He's God.
That's what I said. He knew what was going to happen. It wasn't a test to see
He
if he.
didn't know when he was here. He became a regular human being. He had
Are
no
you
idea that he was God.
listening? Are you listening to what you're saying?
I
How
am
would he?
listening to what I'm saying because
He didn't learn what he knew and what he taught from the temples. He did not learn that.
I know that.
He was so if he didn't know what he knew when he got here, how did he teach the things that he taught that even those that were teaching the law and the word didn't know?
His
He brought it
parents
with him.
taught him. No,
Uh,
he came
uh,
here. He was a human being when he was here on earth.
he was carnal in flesh. He was
He
not a
was
human being.
incarnated, which means He gave up all of his
You are
powers.
you are so wrong. He was not a human being like you're saying when he was here. He was carnal in flesh. He could feel the spears going into him and all that stuff. He came with the knowledge of what his purpose was. He knew before anybody taught him to turn over tables in the synagogues. He knew before anybody told him what to do, how to say it, how to do it. He didn't come here blind. There's no way.
Okay, you can believe whatever you want, and I will believe whatever I have been taught.
Okay,
And
I don't have I
you've
don't
been
have
taught
I
something
don't have to
different.
believe anything that I want. Let's get that out of your mouth and out of your mind. I don't believe anything that I want. Trust me. If I could believe what I wanted, this whole thing would be a lot easier, you know.
Well,
And
you,
and everything
I
wouldn't
don't
be
mean
going
what you
so
want.
crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
believe what you've been taught.
It's not a belief. It's not a belief.
It's not a belief.
No, it's a knowledge. But anyway.
Were
So
you
anyway,
born with
we,
that knowledge, or did you learn it from someone?
yeah, I learned it from someone.
Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying.
But
You
it
can
was the whole
believe what
it
you
was it was the Holy Spirit that imparted it. Not a preacher, not my dad,
directly.
not my mother. I doubted all of them. I doubted everybody who tried to impose their opinion, their word on me. I learned that what you say I believe in, I I live what I believe because I didn't trust anybody. And if I ever were able to talk about my past, my childhood, you would believe that too. I didn't trust anything anybody told me. What I did trust was that the Bible maybe the Word of God. It was breathed into existence by His people to write it. And so I thought, if there's any hope on this world or this planet, you will go and just read that Bible and find out what to do. And so I read it. And it said to trust in God, trust in Jesus, trust in the Holy Spirit, and what you don't understand, He'll make clear. And that's what I did. And I prayed about every scripture that I ever read, and I still do every day. I don't wake up and walk out the door and say, well, I'm going to go do this or that. I wake up and I say, please guard over me, guide me, and direct my pathway. Give me spiritual eyes and spiritual ears. I've done that since I was a boy. I read the Bible. When I open it up, it says it's the bread of life. Okay? And so when I open it up, I pray over it, just like I was praying over a meal. Bless me, give me strength, open my spiritual eyes that I can see the truth in these words, open my spiritual ears, and please guard my tongue that I don't mislead anybody from what I think I understand. So, yeah, nobody's going to tell me that I learned something from a preacher or that I learned something from my parents who were godly, God fearing parents. I just didn't believe it because of other things. Everything that I know and everything that I feel and everything that I believe in is true to the core. It's not like, oh, so that's your doctrine. I don't have a doctrine. I have a heartbeat, you know. That's all I know, Lori. You know, I I can explain it more so, but I don't think I need to. I'm not standing in judgment of how you believe, and I don't stand
I'm
in
not judging you either.
yeah I don't stand in judgment of how anybody believes. You know,
I'm
I,
just saying
I'm
that.
just I'm just saying I've stood toe to toe with pastors and deacons and elders of big churches, and it's not my place to fight them. It's not my place to argue with them. I I don't have or I'm not equipped with my faith by human consumption. So I'm not going to sway them to believe that I'm okay with me by human consumption. If it took the Holy Spirit to bring me to where I'm at, then it would take the Holy Spirit to say, hey, leave him alone. You know, if they don't want to, I'll just walk on. I'll go the other direction. I'm all right with that. But don't, you know. But I'll buck up real fast if something is said to me that's not true about me.
Well, I
Maybe
think you're doing just fine.
I know one thing.
Yes, sir.
I, regardless of everything, right, wrong, or indifferent,
Mm-hmm.
when I see people hurting, suffering, I cry.
Yep.
Behind the scenes, when the camera's off and everything, I cry. It breaks my heart.
Yep.
And
I know what you mean.
God is the ultimate form of goodness. There is no way that people's suffering can break your heart if you don't have God within you. There's no
That's
way.
absolutely true.
I mean, you might be a dog lover and you see a dog suffering and it breaks your heart and that may make you sad. But things that make people and animals and the planet hurt, it breaks my heart too deep, so deep that I'll sit in and cry and pray about it, and I'm all right saying that. But here's the thing: equally so, you know that when I don't have mean bones in my body, you know, or
I
mean
know that.
a mean spirit. Um, I've done a bunch of stuff that was wrong as I grew in life. You know, uh, a lot of stuff, and some that I did when maybe somebody hurt my child. You know, some things that I did, I knew was going to be wrong when I did what I did. Um, it didn't matter. I was willing to sacrifice everything that I believe in and understood at that time. Um, yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm a good man because even the Bible says there's none that's good, only one. You know, um, I'm just
There
trying to
are
say that
some pretty
I
good
do
ones.
I do the best that I can. You know, and I'm very, very, very confident where I'm at in life right now, which is in the latter stages. I'm very confident.
I know all about that.
Yeah, I believe that. You said that twice tonight. Now I actually understand what you're saying. Um, but I'm very confident that I'm gonna have a lot to give accountability for. But I'm kind of looking forward to hearing the last part of that sentence. But enter good and faithful servant. You know, and that's if there's anything past that, then I'm anxious for that too. But you know, it's
That
all good.
that's the good thing that you want to hear, because
That's all you want. That's all you want to hear, isn't it? Yeah.
that's the word you definitely want to hear.
I don't think we can
Yeah,
we're not going to argue about what you believe or what I believe or anything else. What we can agree on,
absolutely. If that's what I want to hear.
enter good and faithful servant. You
Yeah.
know, and there's a whole lot of languages, a whole lot of ways of looking at it, and I believe that I'm gonna end up seeing a whole lot of people just like you
I,
inside that gate. You know, I figure
that's what I pray for every single day. I pray for
I don't
everybody
think
I know to
I don't
make
think
it to that gate.
I don't think we're gonna have to know all the answers, do you? I think we just have to know Jesus
We'll never
and
know all the answers.
understand salvation. Um, I believe I'm gonna see a lot of Newton. I believe I'm gonna see George Foster. You know, I believe I'm gonna see a lot of these people that I've heard about on YouTube that that have passed on before me. But here's the bad news for you: if I annoy you people out there in YouTube land, guess what? I'm gonna be standing at the gate inside at glory. I'm gonna annoy you some more on purpose because I'm gonna be there.
Well, you know what? I'm going to pray every day for all my friends to be there because that's what I want to see. I want to see every single person in my life, all my family, all my friends, every single one of them. I want them all to be inside that gate.
Not me. I mean,
You don't want to be inside the gate?
I'm in there. I'm in. Okay, I already know that. But I'm not going to pray for everybody that I know to be in there. You know, because
Why?
there's some real jackasses in the world. You know, I am going to pray for the jackasses that God leads them to Christ.
Well,
But
yeah, that's what I mean.
well,
That's the only way they're
that's
going to
not
get in there.
that's not what you said. You said I'm praying for all my family and friends and stuff. I got a lot of family that if today was the last day, they're not going to make it. You know.
Yeah, I know. That's why
And
you got to
I'm
pray
not
for
like
them.
going I'm not like going, hey God, give an exception to my jackass friend here or my butthead cousin here. You know, I'm not doing that. I'm going, please, 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 please bring that goodness, bring that kindness to their hearts. Lead them. You said when you call,
That's what I mean. That's
well that's not
exactly what I'm talking
well
about.
that's not what you said. You said you just praying that they all get together and I don't want to be there no more.
Well, how else are they going to get there if they're not converted and God leads them there? Silly.
Well, but if you sit there and you say, if I said to myself, I said, God, just let all my family go to heaven.
That's not what I said. Not just let them go.
And he said, okay. And then he
Bring
put me
them
and
there.
then he put me in a corner of heaven with my family.
Well, I'm
I'd be
telling
going
you,
like,
my
hey,
family didn't
how bad is hell?
Yeah, well, that's just it. Some people, it's going to be harder
Okay,
for them to get there than just to say, "Oh, bring
I
them
know
there."
what you're saying. I know
No,
what you're saying.
change their
You,
hearts and bring them there.
I know what
Yeah,
you're saying. I just like to mess with people.
I know.
Oh no, Simply Happy Life said, "Where am I from?"
Yeah, where are you from originally?
I don't know.
Texas? Didn't you say
Are,
Texas?
are you going to send a hitman out? Oh,
Hell no.
I'm from Texas.
So you were originally from Texas,
I'm
but
from
you've been
Mule.
all over the
I'm
place.
from Muleshoe, Texas. I've lived all over the place, but um, I spent a lot of time in Oklahoma. But I'm originally from Muleshoe, Texas.
Have you ever lived up in the Northeast or anything?
Well, no, because I think that's the devil's country.
Thanks.
Okay, Okay, that's a joke, but here's the thing. I have, okay, here's the thing. I have never met a person, well, I said, I've never met a person that was a stranger, but I never said that everybody I met was a friend.
Well,
And
that's true. I mean,
for the
just
longest,
because
for the longest time, I knew this one person that I absolutely hated. And I'm not somebody that you can do me wrong and we get over it and I don't hate you. I just don't want to be around you. There was this one person that I hated. And it bothered me so much that I wanted
did it,
to seek counsel for why did I have that much want you to die feelings, you know? Um, and so I sought my counsel, which is the Bible, praying and stuff, and meditation. And I found out it had nothing to do with what the person was, believed in, or anything else. They were from up north, and they were very blunt. It wasn't what they were saying; it was how they were saying it. And when that dawned on me, I started to analyze other people I disliked. And it was because it wasn't the people up north, I just didn't like them. You know, it wasn't because of what they were saying, it was because they're very straightforward, very blunt. They'll just say it the way
that's
it is. So
that's me to a
I learned
T.
a lot. I learned a whole new perspective on on people from New York, up higher, and on and on and on. So I didn't immediately shut down what they were saying. I translated it into more blunt terms, you know. So basically, what they're saying is they're not kissing your butt.
Bless their little hearts.
No, yeah, they're not kissing your butt when they tell you that you stink. You know, they're not saying exactly what you did, Lori. Bless your little heart, you smell
Bless
bad.
your little heart. You're
Bless
just
your little
so
heart, you
cute.
smell bad. You poor little boy. And they're just saying, you stink. You know? And so when I learned that difference, then I became indifferent to the initial shock of what anybody said from anywhere. And I began to allow conversations to go longer than you stink. Bam. You know, I mean, I'd be like, okay, we explain that. You know, so in
I'm
that
sorry
adjust
if I'm a little blunt, but that's just me.
in that adjustment, I became less violent. You know,
A little
less.
more tolerant,
Well, I had a lot fewer charges.
a little more patient.
No, just a lot fewer overnight jail stays and fines and stuff like that. Um, so in that one lesson that I researched, um, also some of my favorite people on the planet are from way out of Oklahoma and Texas, um, and they're totally different, I think, than anybody that I would have been such close, loving friends with. Had I not experienced that one person and sought God's counsel for that, you know. So, anyway, that's all I know. I know.
Okay. I totally missed what's been going on in the chat.
There's nothing. Nobody's talking.
Uh, Ace said Critter Creek has an awesome channel, and she posted it.
That was long. That was like an hour ago, Lori.
2:19. Yeah, that was a while ago. Half hour ago, anyway. Uh,
Troy's in there.
Yeah. Simple Happy Life says, thank you, Ace. I just subbed. Um, Mickey, I'm going through that now. That's what I'm dealing with. I'm not sure what we were talking about when he said that. I don't know if you saw that or not.
No, I didn't say that.
I think we're tested every day. Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
for sure. And God has a plan.
Hey, just don't act. Just don't act out. Just. Hey, here's the thing about God. He ain't gonna tempt you more than you can bear, and he ain't gonna, and all that kind of stuff. But just pray about it, and if you
Yep.
don't get your answer in time, then just wait. You
Yep.
know, because I've been ready to rush out the door a couple of times just to go beat the dumb poop out of somebody. You know, and I've had to force myself to sit and wait, and it inside of my redneck self, I was like going, well, it makes me like a coward, or not a redneck or whatever. Just wait on God, because I guarantee you, when you make up your mind what's right, God will show up and say, "I told you so." You know, so. And if you
That's
go
for
out and just
sure.
act on your own, you don't wait for Him. The guilt's gonna last a lot longer than the bruises do.
you're gonna get a swift kick in the butt, and then you'll find out. Oh yeah, okay, all
No,
right, I get it.
but even if you don't, even if you go out there and you dot somebody's I's and you cross, you know, all that stuff off your list of redneck responsibilities, you go home and you're healthy. All you got a couple of bruised knuckles and stuff. The guilt or the knowledge that that wasn't the right thing will long supersede the bruises. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and so I say waiting on God, because usually if I've waited on God long enough, He'll handle the situation much better than I ever thought I could have. You
Oh
know.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway, that's just me.
That's why it says in the Bible, "Vengeance is mine," saith the Lord.
Whatever. I don't. I mean, yeah, I know
If
that's what
you
God.
if you're looking for vengeance, it don't belong to you.
Well, it
It
don't belong
belongs
to
to
you.
God.
You
He'll
can go.
take care of it.
You can go get you some of it. I mean, I've read the
Mhm.
Bible too, and it does say that definitely. But I can go get me some vengeance real quick. Um,
Yeah, but it's not going to be good for you if you do, because if you take it away from God,
oh, trust me, I went out and got vengeance.
little annoying.
I went out and got vengeance before, and it was good for me.
Well, yeah, it makes you feel good
I'm
now,
not
but you're
kidding
going
you.
to have to pay for it in the end.
Well, and I don't trust the Bible to say that I go get this now, then I'll be forgiven later. I don't do that. I don't do that.
No, that's not a
But
good
what I do know is that what you're saying, or what I think you're saying, is I can't really ever tell because you're like a northerner. But what I am saying is that you can go get your vengeance if that's what you think.
Oh, I could do it if I wanted to, yeah, but I
But
don't
but
want to
and
because
you can get away with it. Trust me, I know that too.
you can get away with it for a while, yeah.
You
But
can get
you
away.
don't
You can
think you're
get
going to end
well.
up paying for it in
Apparently,
the
you can get
end?
away with it for 37 years. But but what you can't get away from is laying down on that bed. What you can't get away from is the knowledge that's in your head. And if you think you can ever escape that through a cold beer or or whatever, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's there. Vengeance is God's. That's his. That's his thing. But it's also beyond that. It's in his measure. You know. So keep in mind that when you go and take that vengeance, that you think, well, I don't really give a damn. Whatever happens, happens. Strike me dead. I don't care. I'm headed out here to do this damage. You may get there. You may do the damage. You may get back home.
You may get away with it, and nobody will ever know. But
But
God knows.
don't think that you've taken His vengeance. You're not more powerful than God. You know.
Well, no, I'm not
What?
saying. I'm just
I'm
saying.
not even. See, everything that I say, you think I'm talking to you, and the world doesn't revolve around you, Lori. I'm saying in general that you may do these things, not you because you take it personal, but anybody may do these things, but there is more damage that's done in the world by you taking that action than just letting God render His justice from judgment. Because I'm not capable of judging. I'm only capable of being carnal. I get mad. You hurt my daughter? I'm mad. Um, so I'll take whatever. And even with the knowledge that it's wrong to do that, I'll do that. Or have, or may do that. But God is, there's so much damage that's done by that action that we don't see, we don't talk about, but
Yeah.
in our minds, in our hearts, and in our beds of the nighttime when we're trying to have good dreams, um, it's there. It haunts us, and then it's other people that's affected by the actions that we take when
Yeah.
we don't when we don't let God be the judge and the jury, and or when we think we're not letting Him be that. Um, Too much damage. There's so much beyond God created the heavens and the earth, and
Oh, yeah.
when you understand the first Bible chapter, then you realize that every action that you take in these day and ages is just like that. You know.
Ripples in a pond.
Yeah, yeah, good. Well said. Well said. So, anyway, let me see if I can get off this soapbox. There we go.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I need to get out of here before me and Lori start disliking each other.
Oh, that'll never happen.
I know. I'm with you on that, Lori.
I
Because
love you too much.
you're prepping for heaven. So
I try.
I'm gonna be there at the gate just to mess with you when you get there. I'm gonna
Yeah,
talk
who
to.
says you're going first?
Well, I'm pretty sure, but I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna cut up with Saint Peter and I'm gonna say, hey, when Lori gets here, let me be at the gate. So
Oh,
if
I
you get
tell
there,
you what.
if you get to the gate and you say, well, your name, and I'm there and I say, well, your name's not on the list, Lori. Don't take it for the gospel. Wait till St. Peter shows up and slaps me upside the head and says, Lori, oh my God, get in here and help me line this guy out.
Uh, I just want all my. I'm telling you, I just love everybody, and I want everybody to make it to heaven. And I know there's a heck of a lot of people out there that are living a life that they're not heading in the right direction. Those are the ones I have to pray for.
Well, I just want everybody to know that Lori's a good woman, and I I don't want to see some of those people in heaven.
some of those nasty people, you know. Ah, he ran away. How dare he? Bye, Mickey. I love you. Uh, oh, I still love you. I don't care. Oh, that was funny. I think we're talking past each other because we're both saying the same things, but we're just not connecting or something. I think we're both on the same page, but we don't even realize it. We think we're going in different directions, but we're not. Anyway, uh, I love you guys. That was fun. I am so glad that I had that chance to sit here and just talk to Mickey for a long time because Mickey is awesome. And he has got the biggest heart. And that's what God wants to see. People that love other people the way he told us we should love them. I know some people are hard to love. Trust me. I know. I've known them all my life. It's like, do I really have to love them? I really don't like them. Well, you don't have to like them. Love is totally different because what the kind of love that God wants us to have is not like human affection and that kind of uh, attachment to people. We are definitely on the same page. I know. I get it. We're definitely on the same page because you have got the biggest heart. I know you do. You can't fool me. But anyway, hill folk ideology. Yeah, okay. Uh, oh, simple happy life. You went to 12 years of Catholic school? Wow. I went to Catholic school for about 3 months when I lived in the city that I was born in. Unfortunately, it was a Catholic school that spent half the day speaking French and half the day speaking English. And I didn't know a word of French. I had a little problem. That's why I wanted to go home. I said, no, I don't know what they're saying. They're asking me questions and I have no idea what they're asking or what I'm supposed to answer or how to answer because they expect me to answer in French. It's like I don't know any French. Yeah, that was not fun. I said, not me. Ah, you went to bed already? And I totally missed it. I'm sorry. Good night, Simple Life. Uh, anyway, it's after 3. Hold on. I must be out of my mind. Okay, there are a couple of words I know in French. Not too many, unfortunately. I wanted my mother to teach me how to speak French so I could understand when my mother's family would come to visit, when they'd start talking in French. But she didn't want me to know what they were talking about. It's like, but I want to know what you're talking about. So I never learned, which really kind of annoyed me. Because I loved learning. Especially language, words. Words have always been my thing. Words are something I've always understood and never had a problem understanding because they fascinated me and I studied them inside and out. Definitions. I'd sit there for hours reading the dictionary. People think that's not something people really do. Well, I did. I used to read the dictionary just because I loved to learn words. I wanted to know what they meant and how they fit together. I loved English grammar. I loved English literature. I used to love to read. I read a lot of books when I was a kid. And as I got older, yeah, books, me and books and learning, that was my thing. Good night, Mickey. I love you. And send me an email or whatever. We definitely need to talk about how to edit. I can't figure out how to do it. I don't know what program you use. I don't know if you use a Mac or if you use Windows. I I only have Windows laptop. That's all I've ever used. It's the only thing I know, and I don't own anything. I don't use a phone for anything. I don't have even my phone is an analog. Analog? I don't know, whatever the heck they call it. It's not a it's not an iPhone. I never go online with my phone. The only time I use my cell phone is when I go somewhere. I carry it with me in my purse so that if anything happens, I have a telephone so I can call for help. Uh, anyway, I love you all. And I am going to say goodnight. And okay. Okay. Thanks, Mickey. I love you. And I'll be doing something, I'm sure, probably tomorrow night. It depends on if Trey ever gets a chance to do his Monday Night Lives anymore. And if he's not, Chris might be doing it. And we'll see how it goes from there. Um, because if Trey doesn't go live, Chris, Texas Raider, will take his spot at what is it, 9 o'clock Central, or is it 9 o'clock Eastern? I don't know. Whatever it is, it's whatever Trey's. Oh my word, Troy. Anyway, I gotta go. Do 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 do. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really can't stay. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. Do 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 do. Good night, everybody. I love you. God bless you all. And we'll see you next time.